tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
I'm already done sharing. I haven't put it out to a lot of places that I usually do because, So this is the only time my hair looks good is when I just get out of the shower. Okay. I will not be able to replicate this again. It's funny because my wife, she said, it's just going through its weird stage. It's going to be weird for months. This is what happens when I'm not sharing. I talk about my hair and useless stuff. Cool. So the podcast has been downloaded 24 times. People are listening. Not big on numbers. As long as it's getting out there, God will put it where he wants to. It's kind of the way that it works. So today I'm going to be reading from the big book. We talk about these pages a lot in meetings, so I'll usually cover it, but today I'm going to because I usually don't. We'll wait for that 3-minute mark. Oh, even though my video games are calling me. I don't know if you're a Final Fantasy buff, but I am, and they redid Final Fantasy VII, and the demo for the second part is out. I already pre-purchased the game, which is out on the 29th. But, yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and kind of get started. Been a while since I've had a 0 up there, but it was bound to happen sooner or later. I go live a lot, so. I bet I hit that 3-minute mark and people show up. 10 seconds. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I'm an alcoholic of sorts. Actually, I'm what we call a page 21 drunk. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. If you don't know what a page 21 drunk is, go read page 21 in the big book, and it will tell you. So, whole paragraph there. Hi, Patricia. Good evening, Patricia. Or good night. Yes, good night. It's good to see you. Yeah, I was just sitting here blathering. You know me. So, let's go and get started. We got some people here. I told you that 3-minute mark is the key. So, it says Facebook user, so I'm not sure who you are. If you want to say your name, you can, but welcome. Doesn't matter. It's great to have you here. I wish they put the name, but it doesn't always do it. So it's just one of the inconveniences I have to put up with here. Kind of like my camera not oh. All right. It'll clear itself up. I've got too much light in the background and it's all yellow. I'll be taking care of that. Oh, hello, Kimberly. It's good to see you. I hope you had a good weekend. Ooh. All right, we're just getting started. I am on page 86 at the top of page 86. All right. Deep breaths. Relax. Yay. When we retire at night, we constructively review our day. Were we resentful, selfish, dishonest, or afraid? Do we owe an apology? Have we kept something to ourselves which should be discussed with another person at once? Here, let's see if this fixes it. Nope. Okay. It's all right. No big. Oh, we can do this. Watch. Nope, didn't work. All right. Um, it's not a big deal as long as it's not bothering you. So, um, were we kind and loving toward all? What could have we done better? Were we thinking of ourselves most of the time, or were we thinking of what we could do for others, of what we could pack into the stream of life? But we must be careful not to drift into worry, remorse, or morbid reflection, for that would diminish our usefulness to others. After making our review, we ask God's forgiveness and inquire what corrective measures should be taken. All right. So I do this during the day. I take care of it immediately. I do review my day at night before I go to bed. It is not very often anymore that I have to make an amends or anything like that. Now let's remember that not everything in AA is done in red ink. These are also where we can tag up our successes for the day. That's usually what I do. I usually, that's when I do my gratitude. Because, see, I've had a good day and I'm grateful for the day that I've had. All right. Were we thinking of ourselves? So, what it comes down to is, am I causing more confusion than harmony? And if I am, I got to get out, right? I got to get out of that situation if I'm causing more confusion than harmony. Also, it says not to go into morbid reflection. Well, this happened, is that person mad at me? I do this. Is this person upset with me? Da da da. And, and then I start to what if things. Now I'm creating things. And that's what they're talking about with morbid reflection. Because I found out 99% of the time I didn't do anything. I'm just paranoid. So that's at night. On awakening, let us think about the 24 hours ahead. We consider our plans for the day. Before we begin, we ask God to direct our think, especially that it be divorced from self-pity, dishonest, or selfish motives. So I get up, make coffee, do what I need to do, and then I pray. It's what I do every single morning, and it's what I do. And if you interrupt me, I will not respond. I won't even talk to you. Because I need to start my day with God. It is imperative that I do this, not just because of my alcoholism, but because of my PTSD. When I wake up in the morning, I'm in fight mode, and I need to change that immediately. Okay, not always, but a lot of times I wake up and my nightmares have me waking up, right? So I need God immediately. Not only that, but I woke up an alcoholic again. Go to bed sober, wake up an alcoholic. So what do I have? I have a new day. It's a new day. Yesterday's successes are over with, and it's almost like the reset button every day, because then I get to be a better person each day. So when I pray, I cover the first 3 steps. The first thing I ask, I open with a Saray prayer. I ask God to keep me clean and sober. I pray for other people. And then I close with a 3rd step prayer. That's all I do. And I do it every single day. Now I have covered steps 1, 2, and 3. I have asked God to divorce me from any kind of self-pity or crappy thinking, that sort of thing, so I can start my day new. And the cool thing is once you practice this, you can start your day over whenever you want. Even right before you go to bed, you can start your day over. Yeah. And finish the day on a good note. There is nothing wrong with that. Okay? Under these conditions, we can employ our mental faculties with assurance. For after all, God gave us brains to use. Our thought life will be placed on a much higher plane when our thinking is cleared of wrong motives. Yeah. I need to ask me, what are my intentions? Okay? Because my intentions are not always pure. No, I'm a human being. Okay? I love being the center of attention. Sometimes I do things, but and I shouldn't. Okay? But I'm human, right? And what I have is closed mouth friends that'll say, "Hey, Dion, you're not in your lane, brother. You're not in your lane." And we know what happens to Dion when he's not in his lane. Right? So once I put my life in God's hands 100%, these are things that I get to do. I have a freedom. Okay. See, now we were bound by something. So freedom to us is something kind of different than it is to a lot of other people. Okay. In our day, in thinking about our day, we may face indecision. Not may. You're gonna. I do. I always face indecision. What should the topic be? Should I do this? Should I do that? I've got a lot of decisions I need to make during the day. Okay. If I go to the meeting, am I going to speak? What am I going to say? These are all things that I need help from God for. Right. So when I'm at a meeting, when we do the serenity prayer, and if I didn't make it for the serenity prayer, then I do the serenity prayer. I still do it. And I ask God to give me the right words. I always do that. Do it before I come on here. I do it definitely before I do a podcast. Okay. We may not be able to determine which course to take. Here we ask God for inspiration and intuitive thought or decision. We relax and take it easy. We don't struggle. We are often surprised how the right answers come after we have tried this for a while. What used to be a hunch or an occasional inspiration gradually becomes a working part of the mind. When your intuition is in line with your brain, because your brain is now on the thought process of God, your decision making becomes phenomenal. It becomes really, really good. Because what are we doing? Well, we're starting with our morals, right? We're asking our tummy, is this good? Because if we get a bad feeling there, we already know we're done. We don't need to do it anymore. I'm going to do this. Ooh, that feels bad in the tummy. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Okay. Ask your tummy, man. It is the first place I go. I go tummy, heart, head. Okay. Tummy, my morals lie there. It stops me from, throat punching somebody. Okay. Those are my morals, my ethics. Then I go to my heart. That's where God lies, because I'm going to need to look for direction. So I'm going to ask God for direction. Hey, I need a little bit of help here. Which way would you like me to go? I just need to know which way to go, and I'll go that way. And after a while, okay, that's what we call God consciousness. God talks to me quite often. What used to be a hunch or an occasional inspiration gradually becomes a working part of their mind. Okay. What does that mean? It means you've been brainwashed. I know I'm laughing, but that's exactly what we've done. Okay. Alcoholics Anonymous is CBT with God, cognitive behavioral therapy. It just means that we're telling the synapses which way to go. And you do that by repetition. Okay. But for alcoholics, that repetition can fade. So we must be reminded. I know this alcoholic always needs to be reminded. Or he will think, oh, life wasn't that bad. Hey, my camera came back in. Here I am. Being still inexperienced and having just made a conscious contact with God, it is not probable that we are going to be inspired at all times. No, it doesn't work that way. There's a saying in AA. We're not all sick on the same day. That means there'll come a day when it's my day to be sick. One day you'll have it, but I'll be doing better so I can help you, and vice versa. And we can work back and forth on that. Okay? That's how we are never alone. We might pay for this presumption in all sorts of absurd actions and ideas. Nevertheless, we find that our thinking will, as time passes, be more and more on the plane of inspiration. We come to rely upon it. Kitty, no. No tape. What are you doing under there? We move things, so everything's an adventure for the kitties right now. We usually conclude the period of meditation with a prayer that we be shown all through the day what our next step is to be, that we be given whatever need to take care of such problems. We especially we ask especially for freedom from self-will and are careful to make no request for ourselves only. So I ask God to keep me clean and sober that day. That's it. That's all I ever ask for myself. I'm not saying that there hasn't been times when I was like, God, I'd really like to see if you could see your way. I'm not saying I haven't done that. Sure I have, but I know those are going to be answered. So even when, somebody is sick or maybe they're going into surgery and people are like, give us your prayers. I'm not going to pray for you to be well. I'm going to pray for you the courage. I'll pray for courage for you to get through whatever it is that you're going to go through. We may ask for ourselves, however, if others will be helped. We are careful never to pray for our own selfish ends. Many of us wasted a lot of time doing that, and it doesn't work. You can easily see why. Right? So God doesn't do money, and God doesn't do football. Okay? Materialistic things, I just don't, with my higher power, But what's neat is when I, because I'm an idea guy, and so when I first got into the program, I had ideas, and God would tell me no. And then after a little while, he would say, not yet. Now, I still get told no, right? There are people here that said, hey, Dion, be careful on how much you put yourself out there and things like that. Okay, and those are my reminders from God. But a lot of times now he says yes. He says, yes, you can do that. Because my will is in line with his now. Not that I understand it, not that it's clear and recognizable, but I've been through it enough that I can trust the process. Yeah. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and we will see everybody tomorrow. All right. I love you. Peace out, and have a day. Bye-bye.